Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the User Hectic podcast, but this time we're bringing back an old segment that I only did 2 episodes of in the past, which is kind of depressing. It's called the Intrusive Thoughts segment, which is basically going forward just going to be a segment of User Hectic that Soupy doesn't keep me grounded in, so he's probably going to hate this, because usually every podcast is always me being like, here, what do you think about Pride? And Soupy goes, lad, shut the fuck up. And that's just how every podcast goes. So going forward with these wee solo ones where I'm having a few Pepsis, as YouTube wants me to say, we'll figure out the world's problems together. We'll go mental with. What's the crack we use anyway? I feel like a schizophrenic. I feel like I'm just shouting into the distance here and there's a fucking camera in front of me. So yeah, I've just been vibing out, just starting with me. I've just been getting through some shit, bro. I just left my job and stuff there, went full time, quote unquote, at comedy at the minute. So podcasting, I'm doing a few different things at the moment. I'm producing a few different podcasts. Shout out the Shortback and What's Happening podcast with Cahill Hart and Adam Byrne. Two of my best mates. They're absolutely class. The podcast is fantastic. It's been doing wild numbers at the minute, so I love that they've been doing that. I've also been producing for Sean Haggerty and Diona Doherty. It's been a fucking class time. They're absolutely hilarious. Their podcast, speaking of mad numbers, we'll not even talk about theirs. Just make me jealous at the end of the day. So there's no point even talking about it. Actually, there was a stage where because this weird thing that the what's it called, like the distributor that you would use to like put podcasts out to like Spotify and Apple Music or Apple Pods or whatever the fuck it is. They do this thing now where they need you to link it to one account. So if you have to have like a couple of accounts, and I had like Sean and Diona's podcast linked with User Hectic, and one of the hosts needed access to that, and I was like, oh god, they're going to see my numbers. So please get the numbers up, like it. If you want to throw a wee fucking comment on just to get the algorithm up, that would be absolutely class. I would appreciate that. Even if it's anything at all, just throw a fucking letter in there. Just comment something mental, say some shit like, you remember like Shrek 2? He's like, say something crazy like I'm wearing women's underwear. And he goes, I'm wearing ladies' underwear. And he is. Are you? But yeah, so if you're listening to this, and even if you don't get to the end of it, just fucking fire a comment in it, just say anything at all. That would be fantastic. I'd appreciate anything at all. So when you get to bump these numbers up, those are rookie numbers, pal. But yes, welcome back. A few things just to plug straight out of the gate. I can't remember which date it is. I'm hosting a show in Derry, and I'm running a show in the 31st of August. Anyone listening to this from Derry, we're doing a show in the 720 bar in Derry there, or Londonderry for the people who were just celebrating the whole month of July, with one day, and they celebrate fucking 9 months a year. I'm half Protestant, I can get away with that. 720 bar in Derry. It'll be absolutely fantastic. We've got Roe Boyle and stuff on there. Kieran Franco, Soupy, Soupy, the fucking the other fella that's on this, the one, fucking good lad, so he is. And Jack McGee, Adam Byrne, blah blah blah, the usual crack, the usual ones. They're all good lads. They'll be on that lineup. It'll be fantastic. The Portside Inn's coming back. I took a bit of a break there from everything, from podcasting, from comedy. Literally I just was like, it was like 2 or 3 months where I just needed to clear the head, as they say. I needed a few wee minutes to myself. Just fucking cup of tea, we slice of Vita, and I was grand. No, but I took a bit of a break. Now we're back in head first here, and we're just going to be chatting shit. So yes, but the Portside Inn is back. 5th of September. By the time this episode comes out, it'll probably be announced anyway. So God knows who the fuck's on the lineup. We'll figure it out. It'll be good crack, like. So crack we use, folks. What's been happening in the world? By fucking Trump got shot, didn't he? I don't know. It's like a weird. At the start I was like, ooh, he's faked it. He's faked it. The American government fake ever. We're straight into it. Fucking tinfoil balaclava Freeburn here, you know. Though I always think that they get straight into it and they lie about everything. The American government. I'm gonna fucking have a look at it here. Trump shooting slow motion. These are all fucking 8-minute long videos. I'm not watching all that. I'm not reading all that. Thumbs up. Right there. Removed his head. Assassination attempt. So the general gist, if you've been living under a rock the last fucking 2 months, Trump, the former president Donald Trump, he was allegedly shot at, and a few different things I've seen. I've seen one where it was actually, you know, the wee monitors he looks at, like the wee like monitors he reads off, you know. I wish I had one of them on this podcast. It would be so much easier to do other than trying to be fucking interesting at all. That would be great. But they have, like, apparently whenever the wee fucking incel shot at him, it was weird because the guy who shot him looked like he should have been a Trump supporter, if you get what I mean. I don't know how to explain that. It sounds mental. I think it's just common sense. If you look at the dude, you're just like, bro has been washing his hair in fucking chicken grease for 6 months, and God love him, like it's fucking tough. Like I sound like a dickhead because, for one, he looked like he wasn't a full shilling, as I would say. He wasn't you know, lights were on but nobody was home, fucking engines running but no one's behind the wheel, you know. It was it's one of them fucking mics turned on, there's nobody on stage, you know. That's so it's kind of shitty to try and make an assumption about a dude who is clearly unwell or mentally. I've seen other videos of him, like while he was in school and stuff, and he was very clearly on the spectrum somewhere, you know. So it's like bad to make fun of him directly. I do think it's okay though to, you know, maybe poke a wee bit of fun at the American system for buying a gun, because they basically went, here, what do you have? Fucking Asperger's, fucking, you have wild versions of autism, you have a wee cocktail of Spectrum there, fucking, you know, Spectrum on the beach. Name the episode. Anyway, right, that Spectrum on beach. Yeah, we'll fucking speed run that. So yeah, but no, he was a wee bit cooked, you know. So it was kind of hard to watch, and you're kind of feeling bad for but like, as I mean, like, I don't, obviously he's shooting at other human beings, he's a fucking mental case, but the American system for you being able, and they're like, it's my fucking Fourth Amendment or whatever the hell amendment it is. I don't give a fuck about it. They don't care about our history, so why the fuck would I give a fuck about theirs? They're like, you don't know anything about our amendments. And I'm like, oh yeah, the 6 fucking old white guys in powdered wigs with fucking lead in their mouths signing a fucking piece of fucking paper that was made out of like elephant skin or some shit. I don't know what the fuck it was made out of, but like, they're literally just being like, you know, Americans are like, you better fucking stand and salute for those guys. And I'm like, they were all mentally ill from the very start. And they're like, you know, America have this like warped perception of them where they're like, they love like the fact that they're like, they signed the Declaration. And I'm like, they literally, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, they were so fucked. Like, those people back then, you ever read into it, and it's like, you know, you see like TikToks, people like fucking breaking them down. They're like, oh yeah, fucking George Washington had teeth that was like made out of like slave teeth and horse teeth, and the metal on it was made out of lead. And you're like, what the fuck? And you're like, you let that man make any decisions in America? You know, if there was a fella, like, put it this way, if there was a fella running about the streets going, I'm using fucking horse teeth in my mouth. Nope. Here we go. Right, we're here. We're in it now, aren't we? We're here now. You're here with Justin Freeburn. That's what I'm saying. We're fucking. We're you can't say DURNK on YouTube because they'll fucking ban you, but we're fucking steaming. We're fucking steamboated. We're pot noodled. We're nine fucking wee drinky poos in it, and we're cooking. You know what I mean? What was the point I was trying to make there? So nowadays, someone like Donald Trump, Joe Biden comes out, Joe Biden comes out and he's like, you know, and you have to decipher every single thing he says. But every now and then he'll go, I love black people. And everyone's like, he's a good lad. He's a good lad. Like, what would you say about that? Like, he loves black people. And you're like, yeah, but is that like the fucking line? Like, is that like, you know, like, why are we praising somebody for just claiming to like, we're praising somebody and making them a fucking president just because they said something that should just be part of life. Like, it's not like we shouldn't be praising someone for coming out and being like, oh, I love Indian people. I met an Indian once and he was on a bike, you know, and you're like bro, shut the fuck up. But fuck, this is political already. I have other topics to talk about, but we'll get to them so far. Yeah, so like, that's the thing. Like, they had Joe Biden, we praise him, we fucking say nothing about him. Donald Trump, same thing. You know, people either fucking hate him, they love him. People who love Trump, and people who hate Trump hate him. There's a few people, you know, like myself intended, who doesn't give a fuck. But he, you know, like, he'll come out and say something like pretty compos mentis, you know, like he's not as mental as he's portrayed, but he's also not in a position where I feel like he should be running the country, if you get what I mean. He's still in the 70s. All he wants to do is fucking golf, you know. It's like that. You ever see a video like George Bush? And what was it? Hold on. Oh, fuck, I need to get this video. George Bush golf shot. It's the one where he's like, now watch this drive. With their 2 seconds. I'm just getting her up here, lad. I'm just getting her up. It's this one here with there.
We must stop the terror. I call upon all nations to do everything they can to stop these terrorist killers. Thank you. Now watch this drive.
His fucking head is fucking wrecked. Like, this is what I mean. Like, in this day and age, you'll see like something like that. Well, I mean, that was probably fucking 20 odd years ago. You'll see something like that where he'll turn around, he'll be like, now watch this drive. And you're like, he's not fit to be president. And then you like think back to like, you know, when they signed the declarations and dudes were running about with horse teeth in their fucking mouth. And you're like, what the can you imagine a president came out and it came out like on Fox News or whatever and they were like, Joe Biden has slave teeth in his mouth. You'd be like, what the fuck? You'd be like, how the hell have we let this man become in any sort of way like an authoritative figure? You know, it's so funny. I don't get it, you know. You know, I just chased down this old slave here. He was a good runner. We had 3 dogs on him. Now watch this drive. Like, fuck off, you know. It's just so funny to me that people have like a certain bar or like things they're willing to overlook because the man in charge maybe had like one opinion that he said that was like vaguely, you know, like cooperative with what their beliefs are. You know, it's so funny. It's so stupid because I don't get it, you know, because today's day and age, if you seen some mental bastard running about making decisions who was like, you know, inbred and blah 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 whatever, you'd be like, fuck off, like, I'm not voting for that cunt, you know. You can keep making music and dating Kim Kardashian for a week here. What? Here, we'll throw that out the wall there, won't we? Fucking, listen, I'll take a sip every time I regret saying something, right? Alright, but no, you know what I mean. No, he's a mental bastard for it. Like, funny, but I just think the standard for what people consider a president is funny, considering the country has always been run by absolute fucking nutcases who were clearly unwell or mentally ill. But like back in the day, who was fucking real, you know? But that was my point. Here, fucking 15 minutes of that rant. The guy, the guy who shot Trump was very clearly unwell, and America still let that bastard buy a gun. You know, here. Say what you want, you know. You could have fucking bronchitis, the Sparrow sell you a vape, you know, like, Got to be full blown addicted to alcohol. Can't get up in the morning without it. And they're like, here, we have a full section of it here. Choose your poison, literally. It's wild. What else have I wrote down here? Just to chat about, because I feel like I've went on a 15-minute rant about fucking American politics, and it's all Northern Irish smicks that listen to this. So if you're still listening, thank you. Eminem's new album. Speaking of smicks, I thought I seen Eminem. He dropped the album there. I'd be a big Eminem fan. Love a bit of shady. He's a good lad, so he is. And I seen there was a lot of like debate around the whole Eminem. Like Eminem says a lot. He does mention a lot in his music where he's like, "Oh, they're trying to cancel me," blah blah blah, which is completely fair considering his whole music career has been surrounded by tabloid journalists poking fun at him. You know, like back in the 2000s, anytime he dropped a song, people were calling him vile, people were calling him hateful. There was a whole thing about him being homophobic. And then he brought out the whole Elton John, brought him on stage, and they both risked their careers to get, you know, to put on the performance of a lifetime. And fucking, you know, like basically Eminem was saying mad shit. He was saying faggot in every fucking sentence, and you're like, Jesus shady, but you know, but you're like, at the same time, it's like he's saying it for shock value. He wasn't saying it for like, he wasn't saying it to be homophobic. He was saying it very clearly. Like, it's not as if I'm just, you know, being a fucking ball licker here. He was very much being like, here, I'm saying this for shock value to basically prove that I can say whatever the fuck I want. You can do nothing about it. He wasn't saying it to be hateful towards anything. Like the same way, like you could use the word retard, but if you were to try and like point a finger at like someone with like a special needs, I would fucking break your nose. But if you say the word retard whenever you're talking about a BMW driver, I will be like, here, you fucking make a point. You know what I mean? You spitting facts, brother. You fucking, he's gospel, man. You know, right hand in the Bible. BMW drivers are the worst people on the planet. But yeah, so what was the point? Eminem, yeah, he is basically going on his tracks at the minute. He's a bit of a recluse, as everyone knows, so he's on the music being like, here lads, they're trying to cancel me because like one Megan Thee Stallion fan was fuming at him for making a fucking joke on a song. And the whole of like Gen Z, just sidebar of this, Gen Z, see this whole Gen Z, I'm a Gen Z, I'm Gen X, I'm a boomer, I'm a millennial, fuck up. You're a rat. That's all you are. You're a bunch of fucking molecules and isotopes floating about this fucking planet. And know what I've noticed the whole time? I've been staring at myself in the like wee screen on the camera, so everyone watching this probably thinking I'm cockeyed as fuck. I'm just like, here, you would not believe what I'm fucking Donald Trump, what? You know. But but like, what the fuck was I saying there? Holy shit. Oh, I'm fucking steamboated, lad. Let's regret going up. Yes, Gen Z, millennial, everyone labeling themselves. I love how humans love to just label themselves and be like, oh mate, I'm part of this said group. This is a big thing, I think, when it comes into like people being like claiming to be straight. You know, people who are like homophobic, or people on the other end of that spectrum where they're basically like, I'm part of the LGBTQ fucking LGBTV, UTV, fucking IRA, slant shit, big man. You know, like they're... I hate when people put a label on themselves, because it's always for attention. Like, otherwise, why would you? You wouldn't fucking put a label on yourself. And I know I'm on to talk, I'm a stand-up comedian talking about attention seekers, but I think putting a label on yourself is the biggest form of fucking attention seeking you can really have, because if you feel so like needy for attention that you need to feel like you need to be a part of a group, or like, and I'm not saying anything about being gay. Be fucking, I don't give a fuck what you put in your mouth, your hole, as long as you're sound. That's the fucking, you know, that's what they say, treat people how you want to be treated. And I would expect people to call me out on my bullshit if I was being a detention seeker, but they don't. They pay 10 quid a ticket to come see me. That's the difference, lad. What? Here, fucking, I regret saying that because that was stupid. Here, we're fucking 20 minutes in talking absolute hot muck. That's what we're doing today. But yes, I think Fuck, I speak so fast as well. See an American trying to listen to this is like fucking just ancient Egyptian to them, man. Fucking speaking in hieroglyphics over here, like. No, but what was I saying? So I think the whole labeling thing is kind of fucking annoying because everybody wants to be a part of a group, but the second somebody feels like they're part of a group, they become victimizing, like they become a victim if anything happens to someone of that group. So someone like, that's the same thing, like the fucking right-wing nutcases do it as well, like when, for example, with the right-wing nutcases, because they were the ones for ages calling everybody a fucking snowflake just because they couldn't say the word faggot freely, and you were like, all right, lads, chill out, you can say what you want, but stop making a big fucking deal about it, because you're making it very clear that you're just looking to say a very, like, you're looking to say slurs to people, which is mental, because you're just looking to hurt people's feelings. So stop being a fucking weirdo. But they were basically like, no, we want freedom of speech. We want to be able to say what we want to say, and our opinions to be heard, and everybody not to give a fuck other than that. And then the second the Kyle Gass from Tenacious D, great band, fucking bangers, because there's just a tribute, you gotta believe it. Fucking class. I love Jack Black. I love Tenacious D. Fuck anyone who thinks anything else. Now I'm a victim. Kyle Gass quoted, "It's back to fucking Trump again. It's always the same shit." Kyle Gass, he said, "How did we get on this from Eminem's new album?" Jesus. He said, they brought a cake out on stage for him. Context. He was like, "Oh, thank you." And Jack Black was like, "Make a wish, Kyle." And he turned around and he was like, "Whew. Don't miss Trump the next time." Boom. Right-wing nutcases went fucking mental. They went mental. As John Sue once said, they were fucking mental. If they were here when I was saying in my rap set, be fucking mental. And I thought this was fucking crazy, because they were the ones pointing the finger at people going, you should be allowed to say whatever. I want to say what I want to say. But then Kyle Gass said that, and he literally had to cancel a tour, a world tour. Probably, they're probably looking at an excuse anyway for playing them, but like they cancelled the tour because of this like comment Kyle Gass made. And they were like, the whole fucking right wing, like everyone who was a Trump supporter was like, that's political violence, you can't say that. They're all from Andytown, by the way, all the Trump supporters. You can't fucking say that, bro. You can't fucking be talking about shooting that president. No, he's my best mate. So yeah, I went to school and pulled glass at him, so it did. Could have said East Belfast. Anyway, same thing. Tully Carnett, so it did. It's all the same shit. But he was like, basically, or the right wing went mental. They were like, cancel Kyle Gass, he can't say that. That's political violence. He's inciting hate. And it's like, but what have you been doing? Like, I'm not left wing at all. I'm not. I'm very I'm not left wing or right wing. I like to stomp in the back and make fun of both of them. That's the way I look at myself. So whenever I see someone doing something absolutely left wing, that's what I was talking about with like the whole, labeling yourself and things like that. People want to feel a part of something, so I stomp back and I look at it and go, yeah, but you look mental, so whatever. And then whenever the right wing were like, you can't fucking say that, you can't say that, that's political violence. And it was like, but like you were fighting for freedom of speech 2 fucking minutes ago whenever you wanted to say the N-word out loud, like, fuck your mouth up, you mental bastard. But this has been a fucking weird tangent, hasn't it? Jesus, every single thing I talk about, I'm going to be talking about Smicks in a minute, and somehow it's going to go back to fucking Trump or something. But yeah, like, it's just, anyway, you get what I mean. Fucking stop being mental, everyone. Stop being a fucking head case. Stop being an attention seeker. Stop getting your feelings hurt. Nothing matters. If the fucking internet didn't exist, you wouldn't even know any of these people existed. So why do you care? Anyway, so stop fucking getting at Eminem for saying people are trying to cancel him. He's just making music. I enjoy the music. I'm not going to stop enjoying the music because some fucking 18-year-old on TikTok told me he's washed up or he's fucking, he's shouting at no one. No, Gen Z isn't trying to cancel you, bro. I'm just like, bro, who cares? Why do you care? If you're making a TikTok about Eminem making a fucking song, you're clearly feeding into what he wanted, because he sat back with his fucking 2 billion or whatever he's made in his fucking music studio in the middle of Detroit somewhere. But like, he's like, oh, I'm from Detroit, but he's like fucking living in like a 13-story mansion where it's got like 14 elevators in it and 19 million staff in it. And you're like, bro, you know, whatever. But I just find that funny that, you know, everyone is sort of. I love watching the world kick up about shit. You know, Eminem drops an album, the world's like fucking, you know, they're like, we're not trying to cancel him, and you're like, oh, but you're talking about it, so he's got what he's wanted, you know, so why give a fuck? And you know, all the other shit I ranted about. As I said, if you're thinking I'm very one-sided, I am not at all. I am very much like, this is what I talk about. I need Soupy here to keep me sounding like a normal human, because the second Soupy's not here, like, I am fucking off the rails, man. I swear. Here, we miss you, Soupy. Come back, Pookie Burr. I hope you listen to all these, Soupy, so it makes me feel better about posting these. So text me if you hear this. I'm just putting this out here, so in case Soupy just ignores this. Yeah. What else would I'd spoke about? I was having a laugh about something I had seen the other day. I was walking through town. I was just saying about how I was going to speak about Smicks. I was walking through, I was walking through Rushmere Shopping Centre in Craigavon. What up, boy? Throw up the big C for fucking Craigavon, the big R for Rushmere and retards. But basically, it was walking through, and there was a child in a pram, and the dad. I was walking. I was buying a new outfit. I can't remember what I was doing. It was Adam Burns' birthday at the weekend, and I was going to buy a new outfit for it. And I was walking through, and I seen this fucking, you know, thoroughbred smick. Fucking fella was absolutely, like, you know, socks tucked into the tracksuit bottoms tucked into the socks. He seemed nice enough or whatever. Like, I'm not saying anything about his personality, but just on like view, the dude was the most smacked out cunt I'd ever seen in my life. You know, like, he looked like he sprays deodorant in the office at work. You know, like, he looks like he doesn't leave the room to use deodorant, that kind of guy. You know, and he was walking into Claire's accessories, and I seen him walking in, and I didn't like pay any mind to it. I was just like, whatever, whatever. I went into like H&M or something, whatever it was, and came walking back. And I looked, and he had like a child in the pram, and I mean, this child was like fucking. Child probably couldn't speak yet. Child couldn't walk yet, no matter what it was. But the child's muscles were yet to be deteriorated. Is that a word? I don't know. Deteriorated is a word, but I don't know what the opposite of that is. They haven't formed yet, if you get what I mean. The child couldn't like fully like develop yet to walk, you know. And the fella was holding the child propped up on the wee chair, and there was a full-grown, like a grown-ass woman piercing the child's ear. And I was like, oh my god, that child hasn't even had the fucking umbilical cord cut yet. The child hasn't even had the fucking umbilical cord cut yet, and he's getting a fucking earring, you know? Like, what the fuck, you know? Like, he's like, I can't wait to fucking send my child to ballet in the fucking Leeds kit, you know? I was like, this is fucking wild, man. Fair play to him, you know? Like, you know, it's probably like, you know, when like what was it, like in the 70s, the doctors were like, a child doesn't feel any pain, so we'll just operate him on him now with no anesthesia or anything. Like, I don't know why everyone in my head's a smick, you know, some fucking doctor out in Musgrave or something, or, you know, City Hospital. He's just like, mate, honestly, like, you've got gallbladder issues, like, you've got rheumatoid arthritis. Arthritis, yeah. I'm fucking steaming. How are you getting on? Hopefully no comedians listen to this, because they'll go, we're never booking him for a gig again because he's not funny at all. Yeah, but I thought that was funny that this smick was just fucking, like, straight, like, that child still had fucking, what's that juice called? What's the, there's a wee script from John Devlin, who's fucking looking to do a sketch. I fucking love John Devlin, he's hilarious. What is the liquid on a newborn? Yeah, I'm going to get arrested for this search. what's it called? Getting to know. No. Who the fuck knows? Just it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I'll fucking delete that before the FBI kicks in my door. You know, like the child still got that fucking like liquid from the minge on it. The minge liquid, the miquid. And he's literally the dad's like, mate, we're throwing him like a dart at that fucking don't even fucking use a gun blade, just stick a syringe through his fucking ear, it'll be cheaper. Like, I don't want no electric being used for it. I just stuck a tenner in that meter last week. But that was wild. No thing I've noticed. Here, by the way, this is a weird topic to just switch on to, but shout out and rest in peace, Rich Mix. He's a rapper from, I'm not sure if he was East or West or whatever, but I met him a few times. He was a good lad. I want everyone just to, you know, if you're listening to this or whatever, I want you just to pay your condolences to him, because he was doing very well for himself, and I'm not sure what happened, but he just passed away there recently, and I'm seeing a lot of people posting about like mental health and things like that. So I just on a bit of a softer note, I want you to just realize that if you need somebody to talk to someone. You know, just that's wild, because Rich Mix was doing very well for himself, and whatever happened. I don't know the story or whatever, but shout out him. Rest in peace, Rich Mix. He was a good lad. He was doing well. Fucking is right. But I just thought a lot because I was just talking about Smix. He's a good lad. But we'll move back on to a lighter note again. But so let me see. What else were we talking about here? Speaking of like that child who was getting his ear pierced, right? And like being a newborn or whatever. Do you know what I hate? Right, I've got this fucking. I've ran into this a couple of times. Right, I just left my job there, but like a few weeks before I left the job, one thing I noticed. Do you know? By the way, just like for context, I have that like white coat syndrome or whatever you call it, where anything to do with anything medical just sends like a fucking shiver up my spine that like tickles my ball sack, like, you know, up, it sends it up and back down, and it just gives my ball sack a wee fucking it just plucks a few hairs off it, you know. And like I hate anything to do with like any sort of like, see if someone starts talking about like and this is the thing, I grew up in the generation of ISIS beheadings. Like I watched the fucking Lee Rigby video whenever I was a teenager, you know. So I grew up in that generation of people who had seen everything, every single worst thing you can think of. Dude eating a soup made out of his own daughter. You've seen it, you know. You've seen cartel guys cutting the faces of people and wearing it like a fucking scream mask, you know. Like we grew up on all that. Wouldn't blink, you know. Watched the whole season of The Boys there. Didn't even fucking flinch, you know. See if you mention somebody pulling out a fucking scalpel, fucking anything medical at all, anything like, like it just fucks me up. But one thing I've noticed, people who love to talk about it, right? See fucking women who have had a child. Oh my God, you just love to talk about how shit the experience was, didn't you? And I get it. It was a tough time. I would never say anything about I would never like try and undermine the experience that you went through. But Jesus Christ, dial back on the fucking details. Every woman who has went through like some sort of like issue with the pregnancy or whatever, or, like they love to just like, I'm like, bro, like I'm like, first time I heard like a woman talking about her pregnancy, I was like 17 because I was in work, and she was like, Justin, you don't even understand pain. I know you have a flu right now, but have you ever had a baby cut out of you like it was like one of them aliens in the fucking tubs? And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, Jesus, like I've yet to grow pubes, like, you know, and you tell me about this. They're like, Justin, have you don't know fucking pain yet? I'm like, fuck, I just, you know, whatever happened to me, I'd be like, oh yeah, fell down a hill last week, it was wild bad, by fucking bad knee, I'm just limping from it, or woke up with a sore neck this morning, and they'll go, you don't know fucking pain, you don't know it. And I'm like, I'm sure I don't. You've probably went through a lot more pain than I have. And they'll turn around and go, have you ever shot a fucking child from your kneecaps? And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where the fuck did this all come from, you know? Have you ever Have you ever had a fucking child not come out and it grows inside you and it goes through fucking GCSEs and shit? Fucking, it's still there. Fucking, like, I'm like, bro, I just said that I feel a bit of a cough coming on, and they're like, you don't know pain, you don't know it. You know, I'm like, oh, I know, I get it, I understand you've went through a lot. It is, I can't empathize with it. I do sympathize. I would never want to be in that position. And they're like, have you ever fucking shot a child out of your ankles? Yeah, fucking. Have you ever had them shove a syringe up your spine and make you talk like a puppet? I'm like, bro, what? You know what? I haven't. Like, what? Like, imagine, like, I was like, you know, well, it was like I was trans or something. I was like, I have 2 kids actually. Both of them, they cut it out of the back of my head. You know, like, why do they love to, like, just, like, get real deep into that? Why do they love to just be like, fucking, here, do you know where he took the scalpel, right? He cut my kneecaps off with it and stuck them on, and now they're the child's ears. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, why do you need to tell me in such gruesome detail about your fucking pregnancy? You know, like, I'm a young man. I understand I probably will have to experience this at some point. I don't have kids, which is fair enough. But they fucking love talking about it. They love fucking just ranting about how much pain they went through with it. And as I said, I'm not putting it down. I'm not saying they didn't go through pain. I'm not saying what they went through isn't tough. It's probably one of the worst things you could go through as a human being. But fuck me, stop telling me about it. You know, there's no need for it at all. We're going here about just over half an hour, so I'm going to fucking wrap this up before I get myself in any more trouble. Soupy, we miss you, Pookie. Come back and keep this podcast actually being funny, because you're the only one who gets the fucking clips any views. But listen, as I say, 720 bar in Derry. Adam Byrne, Soupy, Kieran Franco, myself hosting it. Darren McKay is on, he's a good lad, and Roe Boyle. It'll be a good crack. And 5th of September at the Portside Inn. It'll be good fun. Not sure who's on yet, but we'll figure it all out, so we will. But listen, if you've made it this far in it and you've listened to my fucking rants the whole way through this, get a therapist. It's tough, man. I don't know what the fuck we're doing here. But thank you very much for listening. I've been Justin Freeburn. I'm going to stick more episodes of these fucking Intrusive Thoughts things out. They're not going to be weekly like the normal episodes of User Hectic. They might just be sporadic. There might be 2 in 1 week. There might be 1 every 2 months. Who knows? But thank you very much for listening. I've been Justin Freeburn. Buy tickets to the shows. Keep going to see local comedy. And tell your dad, stop asking by me. Woo!